Some say it happened as early as during King Solomon's reign and the destruction of the first temple. Others say it happened in 68 CE, after the destruction of the second temple in Jerusalem. Whichever is the truth, we know this. In King Herod's time, who was a Roman client king of Judea, groups of Jewish people moved from Jerusalem to the trade ports in Yemen and Ethiopia, which were famous as stops on the spice trade routes between India and Europe. From there on out, they sailed to the area of Kochi in India, where they were allowed to permanently settle. Free from persecution, the Cochin Jews could practice their religion and trade. In the early 11th century, the regional ruler granted them full citizenship, an exemption from the trade tariffs other Western traders had. These rights and privileges were inscribed on the famous copper plates given to Joseph Rabban, Prince of the Jews. Now he has left all his earthly belongings to his son, also named Joseph. This is where our story begins. Hi Rumians, I'm Druzhnik. Thank you for being here and welcome to a new series on this channel, which I will be calling The Jewish Raj. I've been thinking long and hard about which series to do, and I've had some help from one of you, thank you very much, in setting up for this series. I had a suggestion from somebody asking to play as the Jews. However, it's not very easy in Crusader Kings 3, not in 2 either, but definitely not in 3, to play as a Jewish faction or family, simply because there aren't that many Jews. So I had to do some playtesting to see if this was even viable as an idea. And one of the things I wanted to try is to play as the Cochin Jews, as you heard in the introduction just now. So I did install one mod, which is called the Jewish Flavor mod, that I don't think it's adding that much in this playthrough actually, but I wanted to showcase it anyway. However, what it does is it gives some naming options for your children within certain Jewish cultures. It gives religious doctrines, and I think that one actually does affect this game. It includes some faith options, some cultural flavors, which are very nice, a new culture, the Mizrahim, and it has some localization changes where it changes the historic and religious terminology to make it more accurate. So it'll have its effects here and there. There are still changes being made to this mod as well. So if you want to check it out, go look for it. I'll make sure to put a link for it in the description below. And if you like this series, if you want to see more of it, please hit that like button. Don't forget to consider subscribing. It really helps out immensely. And if you want to become a member of the channel, that is of course possible as well. And if you are thinking of joining the Discord, check out the link in the description below. You'll be very, very welcome. And it's a very, very nice Discord with a nice community, so don't be afraid to come join us and join the discussions. Now, this episode 0 is meant to, look at where we are, who we are, and set up basically the first episode, set up the first things that we are going to do. So, just to let you know where we are in India. And if you hadn't guessed that yet, we are mostly in the Kerala region. This is our region, so to say. And we are Joseph Rabban. We also own the, what is this called? The Venadu region, I think. And I really don't know all the pronunciations properly, and the Alupa region. So we own 3 regions over here. We are not our own sovereign. We are part of the larger Kola kingdom, and our start date is 1066. The previous years I played, I started in the other time slot, 867, I think. So this time I wanted to start in 1066. I did try a game with the Jewish faction in the early start date, and that is highly challenging, but a lot of fun. So if you want to try that, it is definitely possible if you just, very early on, focus on money, 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 being able to get mercenaries and build up your levies as soon as possible. You can definitely grow, and you can definitely take all of this if you want. Now, speaking of which, I'm not going to play this historically, obviously, because I'm pretty sure that the Jewish population here in India would not try to convert everybody to their religion, would not try to take all of India for themselves. But if I wouldn't do that, it would make for a very, very boring series. We would just, be here and turtle. Now, I do like to turtle, but that's not what I'm going to do. So I am, of course, going to try to take India and make all of India Jewish. Now, I'm not sure exactly what my end goal is with this series, and so I'm very, very open to suggestions from you guys. One of the things I haven't really been able to figure out yet, and maybe it's just my own stupidity, I'll admit that immediately. I just don't know the game well enough. I haven't played long enough in the test game to figure it out. For example, this is out of my diplomatic reach, I think, already. So I can't interact, or I actually can. Here then. Yeah. I can't interact with this. I can't interact with them. So I could actually... Ugh. Oh, you're very dumb. Well, anyway, what I wanted to say was I haven't really figured out how to, cross over and maybe go for Jerusalem. And even if I can interact with these guys, it would still be very, very difficult because these are the Seljuk right now. So, yeah, that would be difficult. But, so... I'm not sure if I want to go all the way over there or if I want to stay here in India and just make a real huge Jewish Raj. I don't know. So I'm very open to your ideas, to your suggestions and wishes, and we'll see where this series takes us. Now, let's look at our protagonist. We currently have the very young 19-year-old Raja Joseph Rabban. His father famously received the copper plates from the king, the king, and he has a wife, Rani, so she's also Jewish. Now, what I did is I chose the Malabar organized Jewish faith, and we'll look at that in a second, and the Tamil culture, which is the regional culture. However, it's not everybody's culture in this region. I'm pretty sure that these guys are Tamil, but these guys are not. Yeah, these guys are already a different culture group. Still the same culture group, Dravidian, I think. Yeah, but a different culture. So there are some cultural issues here in India already. Now, so Joseph was tutored heavily by his famous father, so he turned out quite all right. And Joseph has a 14 diplomacy, 11 martial. He's not a fighting man. He has 19 stewardship, however, 11 intrigue, and 14 learning. So I didn't make a beast of a man. Definitely not because his prowess is only 6. But he's a good character. He's also patient, which is virtuous to the Malabari. He's forgiving. He's humble. He's very, very, very good with money. And he's an administrator, which makes, I guess this is the most cheaty because he's only 19. But anyway, he's just, he was tutored very, very well. Now, his wife is a little bit less of an impressive character, but not bad. She's 8 diplomacy, 7 martial, 14 stewardship, 7 intrigue, and 3 learning. She's wrathful, so she is considered sinful. She's sadistic, and she's very stubborn, and also quite good with money. Now, as you can see, I can, if I want, get a secondary spouse, because we, I don't know if it's from our religion that we are not monogamous. Yes, we're bigamous. And I think that's actually one of the things that the Jewish flavor mod adds to the game. You can be bigamous as a Jew, which, is pretty much awesome. I mean, why not, right? So, while we're here anyway, let's look at our tenets. So, We have communal identity. So conversion speed in counties of my culture is plus 50%. Promote culture speed in counties of my faith is plus 50%. So there's this interplay or crossplay between culture and faith conversion. Once you have one or the other, it's easier to convert the other, which is nice. Conversion speed in counties of a different culture minus 50%. So if we conquer anything, we might want to convert the culture first, and only then start converting the faith, because that would, make use of the bonus that we have. We have the halakha, which reduces the cost of our laws, and we have rulers with high learning may condemn their sinful vassals. So it's good to have good learning, and condemned vassals are seen as criminals and may have their titles revoked. So that's pretty nice. And the reason why I chose Malabarism, I guess, is Eastern syncretism, because it makes it a little bit easier for our Jewish community here to interact with the other communities around us in India. Eastern faiths here are only considered hostile and not evil. And that makes it a lot easier to interact with the rest. Now, our sins are over here, virtues are over here. We are male-dominated, a pluralist. So that means that adherents of other faiths will have opinion penalties of 50%. County conversion speed minus 20%, so that does work against this, I guess. Counties of other faiths are less likely to join factions, so that's nice. Reduce danger from heresies when at low fervor, and winning a holy war will vassalize infidel rulers in the target area instead of seizing their land. So that's pretty nice. Now we have lay clergy and rabbinicism, of course. So all rabbinite faiths are righteous, and priestly faiths are astray, and sagely faiths are also astray. Divorce is always allowed. We don't like bastards. We think cousin marriage is quite fine. We are bigamous. We've talked about that before. Same-sex relations are considered criminal in the Malabar faith. Male adultery is shunned. Female adultery is criminal. Of course, where isn't it? Deviancy shunned. Kinslaying, familial kinslaying is criminal, and witchcraft is only shunned. Now, the clergy. Very difficult word. Clerical function is control. Control growth plus 20%, so that's pretty nice. Clerical marriage is allowed. Clerical gender, only men. And appointment, temporal, or for life. And we have a special doctrine, teachings of Moses. Non-Jewish faiths with the Jewish syncretism tenet are considered hostile instead of evil, and mutual plus 30 opinion bonus with faiths that have the Jewish syncretism tenet. So, yeah, we don't have a current head of faith. Right now, the temporal one is the Malabarist High Priesthood, which is a duchy title here, and I think of all the holy sites, the Jewish faith group only holds Axum, which is standard in 1066, I think. All of the other ones are controlled by Islam. So, that's that. If we look at the Tamil culture, we start in the early medieval age. I'm not going to go all over through all of these. We are not the culture head, so we don't get to choose the focus, but that's okay. That's all fine. Now, House Rabban is, of course, a house that I made myself. This is a ruler that I designed. Wow, I really can't talk today. This is not how I usually speak. Oh, actually, maybe it is. So we are definitely obscure because nobody has ever heard of us. Well, that's not true. Everybody has heard of my famous father, but, is just one man. So we have to build up from scratch. But conquest through God is our motto, so that is what we will do. Now, let's go back to ourselves. So we need to have an heir, but I think our good wife will give us one. And we need to choose a lifestyle. Now, I definitely want to choose a secondary spouse because I like women. And so I am going to look for an adult who's fertile and who probably I will not be able to find a Jewish woman. No. So maybe at least find one in my culture group No. No. Because I definitely want one with some nice traits. So, one with inheritable traits. Only 3 of you? But you are intelligent, naughty. A zealous paragon. So, Nadi is Burmese. She's of a different faith, the Theravada, but I'm pretty sure we can convert her at some point. Maybe. She's just paranoid and zealous. Maybe. I think it would be good if we could get intelligent bred into our family, don't you think? So I think I'm gonna go and have a secondary spouse here. Nadi looks just fine to me, and we will go ahead and do that. So that is our first action. Now, let's look at our realm before we decide which lifestyle we want. So our court currently consists of 8 people. And we have 3 vassals. We have our marshal, who obviously is not Jewish, so we could demand conversion, and I will actually immediately do that. We have a steward who owns this little place here. We'll do the same thing. And we have our chancellor, who owns the northern part here. So let's, he might actually accept. Let's demand conversion of him as well. Speaking of which, we should probably look at our council. We have our court chaplain, who is the only other Jew except for our wife. I'm pretty sure, yes. We have also our spy master, who I think will also, yes, she will definitely accept. So these 3 guys, not sure if they will accept, but with her, she will accept, so we will have more Jews here. I don't think I have a huge choice. Yeah. I have just one courtier left who has nothing to do, who would make for actually a better chancellor, a better marshal, than the 2 guys that I already have here. But these guys are my vassals, and he really does not like me very much. So, I don't know. I cannot ask him to convert, so I will not do so. That is a pity. Now, could I get you... a good man? Maybe without inheritable traits. But do we need one, or should we just tell her, hey, you can marry whomever you want? There is a Jew here, Druva. You're a gracious lackey, but you're hunchbacked. You're 45. How old are you, actually? 22. So we could marry her off. That could be an option, although we could also choose somebody who's not Jewish and then try to convert them, but maybe who has some very nice stats that we would like. No good inheritable traits, though. That's a bit of an issue. I don't know if I want to marry her off. She can probably find her own way in this world. Now, the Legis Council is... we'll look at the Liege later, but basically we're currently not on the council, but there's no steward. So I'm pretty sure that he'll come to me and be like, yo, you are very good with money, so do you want to be my steward? That will happen. Going back to me. So 3 vassals. My current military strength is very poor. And theirs, 135, 78, so that's really nothing, and 72. So we only really have to be a little bit careful of the marshal. But we'll be fine, trust me. We have a lot of money coming in every month. Now, if we look at... So we wanted to... I already forgot. That's terrible. We want to convert culture first. So if we... Culture. Oh, we all have the same culture, of course. So that's not a problem. Okay, so culture is fine. That was here. So we can actually start converting faith. So I think we should start here in Kerala, and what I'm going to do with the chaplain first is convert all of my own territory to Judaism before I start doing any other things like making claims or whatnot. Although I do think... Do we already have a casus belli? Oh, we do, actually. We have a de jure casus belli on the Maldives. So I think that will be our first step to declare war on this guy and take his territory as well, because I'm pretty sure it should be part of ours, don't you think? It's a nice set of islands. Now, okay, so he's done. The Chancellor is currently doing foreign affairs, and I think that would be fine. As we have more use of that. Actually, maybe getting domestic affairs. I should have done that first and then asked these guys to convert, but I didn't. So let's just do this. Now you can actually increase development in Kerala, because that's always good to do. I would like to organize levies. Probably, not sure. I'll check when we have unpaused. Might be good to train some commanders. And our spy master is disrupting schemes right now. I think that's fine. For now, that's fine. So, we've looked at ourselves. We have looked at our wife. We have 7 titles, so we actually have quite a few titles under our control. That's pretty nice. I'm highlighting them all now. But our core territory is Kerala. So what I'll be focusing on is building up this core territory with nice buildings, and trying to get this as big and as good as we possibly can, and withstand anything that this game might throw at us. So, the lifestyle. I think I'm gonna go for stewardship, because, oh yeah, why not? And there are a few options here. Now, we already have administrator, so I don't think you can get it twice, but I'm not sure. Now, it does have some good things, like the claim thrown against Liege, large levies, which are nice. Counselor opinion is pretty nice, but I think for now, what we really want to do, this is making all your buildings, etc., easier to build and cheaper and faster. What we also really would like to do, of course, is, get money fast. And then we can build and do good things, cool things. So I think I'm going to try to go for avaricious, which is good for our holding taxes and, good for, basically, money, also while we're at war. So I think we're going to do that. Now, I am going to go for the wealth focus and get an increased income immediately. And I will go for golden obligations, or should I... It might be good to start with cutting cornerstones and making it easier to build. Minus 5% on buildings that usually cost 150, I think. So that is actually not bad. I mean, I don't think I'm going to have hooks immediately, so let's make it a little bit easier to build buildings. So we've done that. I think we are ready to unpause the game. So we have 0... No, we don't have 0 surveyors. We have some knights, but we really need more. I'm definitely going to be training commanders, but that will go up quickly. Don't worry about that. We have our court. We'll look at that another time as well, and we need a court physician. But I think we are quite ready to unpause the game. But I will do that in the next episode. So tomorrow, we will have episode 1. And in this episode, we will start our Jewish journey in India proper. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode where I set everything up. If you did, hit the like button, and please consider subscribing. Helps out immensely. New episodes in this series come out very regularly, at least twice a week. And I hope to see you next time.